experiences as such, past life experiences, okay, they just said, it goes on a loop, it goes on a feedback, goes on a loop in your body. It just stays there, remains there. So for you then to come back and then have certain fears or phobias or anxieties, they could be connected to a past life. And it made sense then for me when I investigated it further for myself. I then sat there and allowed myself in meditation to go back, and I could see where this fear that I'd held on to was from previous lifetimes, the situations that I'd been in too. So this evening when I was sitting here meditating, they were saying that your soul is trying to communicate. And I said, my soul or everyone's soul? And they said, everyone's soul at this moment is trying to communicate, trying to help you to elevate, to lift yourself higher, pulling yourself through the trauma at the moment. So if any of you are feeling the old wounds rising to the surface, it's very much at this moment in time, it's like a call to prayer. It's like a call to the soul at the moment to help to release it, to sort of shift it, however you want to do that process. But at the moment they're sort of saying by, this thinner veil on the planet, sort of between the dimensions, I'm working with this individual, we're really looking at us as a multi-dimensional being, and we're just not here in the present moment. There are many layers to us, even when we think back to something that might have happened last week or last year or whatever's happened to us, that we hold in our body stream. It's held there, and very much so by soul. The spirit was telling me, your souls are, they've sort of created this mechanism within this human being so that you can then help your soul on its journey. And then it led to me, I was connected to Archangel Matrodon again this evening. I was talking and communicating, and why is this so important? And I was told that he masculine energy said, I assist those to move over, to transform, to shift out of the human self, and I work with souls. And the feedback from himself was that there's so many of you that feel stuck or are wounded, that you're not realizing that you can help yourself to some degree. You can help yourself by, if only you could learn to connect to your higher self, connect to that soul part of you, that it would then help to fast track you. They've used that again, fast track you to a healthier level within yourself to some degree. Let me check something because they want to say something. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. They were saying that at this time and I've said this before, and many light workers, many people who are working with energy are saying this, that this is the time when the whole planet is sort of lifting, is exploring for many avenues that how you can help yourself to lift up, to shift out of the old, to move forward. But many are still getting stuck. So to see that this lifetime has been created for you to create your shift, to help you to move forward. And another thing they sort of said, and it makes so much sense, that those around me, because I have been the caretaker of my soul, that by looking at what keeps being brought to the surface, by working with that, and by honouring my soul and trusting, having faith in my journey, I'm now also affecting those around me in a positive way, in a positive light. The logical mind would be saying, oh no, not sure if that's practically a good idea, and being held stuck and being feared, having the fear from it. But my soul, on the soul level, through me meditating daily, by me connecting to my team and reaching and asking, by me doing that, it helps then this communication, this interaction, this to and fro of information that comes through for them to offer me guidance. I would find it extremely hard at this moment to do this work on my own. So by me asking, reaching out for guidance from my spiritual team, because I've been building that up, working my guides, makes it easier for me. And also one of the biggest things for me was trust. And I, through my own experiences in my own childhood, I retracted back from others. I stopped myself from crying because of my own childhood. It was very much that I'll give you something to cry for in a minute if you don't stop crying, and silly things like that. And through those wounds that are created through our childhood, we feel that it's safer, possibly I did, to hold back, to not cry, not to express myself, not to share it with others, feeling shamed, feeling that I'm different, feeling that nobody else would understand what I'm going through because of my own isolation through my childhood. And this is not just me, there's many people. And through the last couple of weeks, months, and especially the last couple of days, being able to have people holding my space for me, meaning I felt safe to communicate, to talk to those around me, my friends, who I would say are my cheerleaders, by being able to communicate. And they didn't give me advice. I didn't need or want their advice. I wanted them to hold my space for me to be listened to. And that was another thing. As a child, sometimes through trauma, your voice is shouted down at, you shut off, people might not believe you. And so you can hold that in your body. And the last couple of days, since I've been able to express how I've been feeling, here, my throat chakra, my throat energy center has felt quite peculiar, quite tender. And I was thinking, why could that be? And it was literally when I checked in with my guides, building that connection with them, having that bridge of connection, they came through straight away and told me, your voice now is being heard. When you was a child, when all this trauma was stuck, your voice was not unable to be heard. And then all day I've been hearing messages of information that, through us, when we become aware of something, you can end up sleeping like a baby. So today I sat down on the sofa, and I never sleep during the day, and I fell asleep for 2 hours, but it didn't feel like sleeping. It felt as if I was processing all the information, which obviously I needed to process, but it was a real healing sensation. So when I checked in with Spirit, I said, selfishly, this is my story. I don't want to be bringing this up. And they was like, that would be selfish, because there's others out there that need to hear this information, because this is what's going on for other people right now in many different shapes and forms. Wounds need to be healed right now. And at this time, at the moment, planetary and everything else that's going on the earth, that this is a time to be healed. And can feel uncomfortable, but it also, you have to sort of allow yourself, if something is coming up for you, however uncomfortable it is, they just said, like that process of rebirthing, through birth, as a mother, I had 2 children, and through that process of going through the birthing process, it can be easy, it can be difficult, it can be painful, but it has to come through. You have to have that breakthrough. You have to allow yourself to feel vulnerable. You have to allow that for you to be able to move forward, because without you allowing that, it stays stuck, and it can repeat itself on a feedback loop, constantly coming backwards and forwards. People saying that, this happened to me a couple of years ago, it's on a cycle. And yes, it stays on a cycle, and that's what they're saying to me. But to allow, and they just say, to allow yourself, like the seasons of nature, how nature lets go. If you look at the trees, lets go of the leaves during fall, it's a period of hibernation. You'll go through that, and then through spring it comes back again. But they're saying this moment on the planet is very healing, but can be very painful for many of you. I'm just checking in if I've expressed everything they needed to hear. Everyone needed to hear. Okay, they just said, please make sure they understand that your body is your tool. Your body is your tool. The tool for your soul to express itself by hearing, seeing, feeling, and being able to speak your truth. And that's why you was given this vessel of a human being body, to help house your soul, so that your soul can actually grow. By you not allowing yourself to grow, you also don't help others around you. And by you growing, by you feeling all those vulnerabilities and sensitivities, it has a knock-on effect to those around you. Once you change or allow yourself to change, the others around you, family members, they cannot stay in the same place. They will need to change. Okay, they just said because of your vibration, that your body vibrates at a higher speed, it means they will then pick up on that speed. And again, they just said the same thing as before. Like with music, when you play music, there is a frequency that's sent out on the radio waves. It's the same as your body sends out those waves of information to you and to those around you. It will have an effect upon those around you. Okay, and life changes, they said. Let me see if there's anything else. Okay, I think I've addressed everything they said. Okay.